Hello everyone, my name is Brady Haislet. I'm an application engineer here at 3M, and today we're going to go through sealer and base coat application on a common repair. With any job, you always want to have the appropriate personal protective equipment. Since we'll be painting today, I'll have on a paint suit and shoe covers, along with safety glasses and gloves, and the type of respirator I'll be wearing is called a PAPR. Now, this is intended for professional audiences, such as a body shop or a restoration shop. If you have any questions about safety and warranty, that's in the description below. Now for the work today, we actually have a repair on this quarter panel that was rather close to the door. So we've already brought it through a filler, blocking, sanding. We did our primer application as well as blocked that out using our guide coat to get that nice and level and ready for the sealer. Now we're going to be applying sealer over that repair area and into the door. So that'll mean our base coat will grow from there, followed by clear coat when we're all done with these two applications. Now we are going to cross over a jamb, and because we want to minimize any sealer creep, we are utilizing some smooth transition tape, which we will peel after the sealer application so that that base coat can go further into the jamb. Also, in prepping, we prepped the filler, the primer area that was over that filler with 400 grit, which is appropriate for the sealer we'll be applying. Beyond that, since the base coat will be going further, we prepped with 600 grit in that area, followed by 800 grit where we'll be covering the rest of the repair with clear coat. One important thing to note is that you need to choose the right shade of sealer for the color you'll be applying. Another point is you want to keep your repair area as small as possible, so only cover the areas necessary with your sealer so that the area that you're repairing and blending doesn't grow with that. And another thing to note is choose the right tip size for the job. So follow manufacturer recommendations. In our case, we're going to be using a 1.3. However, a 1.3 to 1.4 is pretty common for most sealers or wet on wet. Next, we need to dial in our spray gun for the sealer application. And as I mentioned, we want to keep that repair area as small as possible, so that means we want to dial our fan down by using that fan knob turned in quite a bit so that we're not applying it larger than we need to for the job. Now that we've finished applying our sealer or our wet on wet, we were able to remove our first layer of smooth transition tape from the jamb. Mind you, we do have a second layer in there to give us a gentle transition with our base coat and clear coat application in the jamb. We will be applying a solvent-borne base coat, and with this base coat, we are going to be starting just over the repair area and keeping that area of application as small as possible with that first coat. Each subsequent coat will grow from there, and we'll try to do a gentle flick off into the area to blend that color out. Now this will probably take 2 to 3 coats to get full coverage. This particular color of base coat is not especially hard to match, so we will only be applying our base coat and blending with the base coat alone. However, with some more challenging base coat colors to blend, it is recommended at times to use a color blending agent or a wet bed to get an even better blend. You want to ensure that your blend stays as far away as possible from any adjacent panels that are not going to be coated. Now with this blend, we want to stay as far as possible away from the front door, which will be pretty easy. However, we also want to stay as far as possible away from the bumper cover, so we'll have to be a little bit careful there. Another thing that helps in blending is to make sure you don't stop in a vertical straight line on the car. If possible, you always want your blend to go across at a diagonal. And another thing that you can do to make it even harder to pick up a blend is stop your blend at a transition point, such as another feature on a car like a door handle or a mirror, or if you can even get your coating to go around the curvature of the car, that can get it to transition as gently as possible. So that wraps up blending with color after we applied our sealer wet on wet, followed it up with our 3-coat application of our base coat. We were able to cover a couple of the rock chips since we had a little bit of leftover base coat to use up, and we will be painting the entire door. Now it is ready for clear coat, so the next step will be a clear coat application. That's all there is to it for a sealer and base coat application. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, feel free to hit the like button or subscribe or comment below. And for more content like this, you can follow the Collision Repair Academy link in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.